I've already stated this for the record several times, so I'm, I don't recognize or identify with any of the corporate um, jurisdictions and things of that nature. So I can provide you with a actual place of domicile. That would be a latitude of 44.088393 and a longitude of 87.670627. So those are my coordinates. And like I said, those are used because I don't identify with any of the corporate things that put you in a jurisdiction to be doing business with the people that you work for, meaning the government or whatever you want to call it. But I call them
Right.
I call them murderers and rapists. They. I mean, like this is not funny, ma'am. Like they invaded a place. They
Mhm.
rape men, they rape women, they rape children. And you're employed by those people. You have a business to do
Mhm.
for them. Regardless of what they did, you still want to do the business for them, and that's okay if that's what you want to do. But you can't force that on someone else. Neither can the person that you work for tell you to force that on someone else. And if they do
Right.
that, then they're telling you to be the devil. To do the evil doings of their work. And just don't do
Mhm.
it to me. Ignorance of the law is one thing, or not having knowledge of something is one thing. But when you have that knowledge of
Mhm.
something, only thing that you can do is just make your stand against it and just tell those who mean to do you harm not to do those things because it's foul. It's not right.
Mhm.
So my nature and reason for calling this because I understand what uh, these things have uh, uh, been formed and created and how they all began. I know how the whole scope of all this works and how it all was formed, created, and began. And it all had to go with the death and destruction. And like I say, they rape children, they rape men, they rape women, and this is just was some of the things that they had to do in order for you to be in a position where you sitting there right now today claiming to have a job and working for the government. The people that set all this up, they did these things, these inhumane acts against, against my people, because that's what it was. It was against my people. So I cannot recognize, I cannot identify, I cannot involve myself as an accomplice or an accessory to those inhumane acts and crimes after the fact. Because to say that I am of that, I would actually be saying that I am a accomplice, that I am an accessory to those crimes after the fact. That's what that's what everyone would be saying without using, the common knowledge and sense to point all those things out. But that's exactly what it means. You can't, like you cannot, uh, uh, deny or rebut that. Those are facts. If 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 I ran into the White House and did some things, that were inhumane, they were criminal, and then I came along and gathered with you and some people that and a community of people, and they all sided with me and joined in with me after the fact and stood by me, then they would actually be saying with no denial and rebuttal about it that they are accessory and accomplice to the things that I did after the fact. So no one can really be forced. Everyone has a choice. You have a choice. I have a choice. We all can say no, or we can all say yes. To any and everything. But no one can be forced, and especially when it involves doing business and doing some paperwork and things like that. We know that we're doing business, but even with the scope of business, or even the things with criminal acts, you had a right to say yes or no, to be a accomplice and an accessory to either the crimes and the inhumane acts that were prescribed before your involvement in it. So you would be an accessory and accomplice after the fact. You know, I don't want to put you into a position. That's not what I was doing. I was calling about my personal standing, you know, to give that information. Just unfortunately, I had to get a hold of you and provide those things. And I do know that this is a documented phone call or conversation that we're having. So, you know, that's one good thing, you know, but, you know, it's a good thing for me too, so that, you know, people can understand that, you know, what's going on, that no one cares. You know, they only care about having a paycheck. You know, would you want a paycheck where it involved somebody had to be, you know, men, women, and children had to be raped against their will, you know, murdered and much worse
Really don't know
things?
what nobody is doing. You could be working at McDonald's and they corporate could be doing the same thing. So you just
Well, I wouldn't know if anybody that, you know, chose to work for McDonald's and what McDonald's might have done, but I do know about anybody that choose to work for the government, and I know what the government has done. I
right,
do know that.
right.
So, you know,
Understand.
forgive them when they do not know, Lord. But what about when they do know? So, you know, that's a whole nother subject in itself. So I don't know what McDonald's has done to a race of people, you know, a genocide to a people, sexual inhumane acts to a race of people. I don't know that about McDonald's. I do know that about the government, though. You know, we all know those things.
Yeah.
So if we all know those things about the government,
Everything.
we would know those things about McDonald's, Walmart, and so on and so forth. So I don't want to involve something that, you know,
Churches.
that we
All
can't
of it.
provide the truth and facts about, but we can provide those truth and facts about the government, the one that you work for.
Yep. Yep. That's all we got to do. Research on everything.
But you know, I don't want to put you in a position, ma'am. I swear that's not my nature of the call. I'm just calling just to, you know, my thing is, I don't want no harm done, and I don't want to do no harm to no one. So with that being said, I don't want no one doing no harm to me. By any means, I don't want no harm being done to me. I don't want business forced on me, because I'm not doing business. I know I'm not, because I didn't agree to have a contract to do any business with anybody. All I wanted to do was go out and provide a service, a labor, you know, from the time that I wanted to communicate that with whoever I wanted to communicate that with. That was between me and them. I don't know what I don't know what they might have had going on behind the scenes with someone else, but all that should have been prescribed to me, so I could have made that standing, and everything that I presented to you, I would have presented that to them, and maybe they wouldn't have got the business that I had involved with them to go along with someone that they was doing some business with in the background without my knowing and consent to it, because that was fraud. Especially when I know that they doing business with somebody that I would never want to do business with. They doing business with people who have raped, murdered, and killed men, women, and children. I don't want to do business with nobody like that. So my nature, like I said, of this call was just to, I want the record to reflect my standing, and I don't want any harm to be done to me because of my knowledge and my standing of things. And, you know, I just want to be left alone when it comes to those things. And, you know, and I swear I'm not here to do no harm. Not to no one or not to anything. No one's property, or anything. I'm not here for that. And I don't want those things done to me, in return as the same.
Most definitely.
So, with that being said, ma'am, you please tell those people to exclude me from their business, and for those who do not know, then that's for each individual on their own to take up those matters and try to resolve those. But with me, I'm trying to resolve mine. No, I have resolved mine, because whether it, if it gets ignored or whatever, I've documented it. I made documentation of it, not once, not twice, several times, and I'm knowing that these people are very, very much aware of that right now. Because I'll always be told that anytime that I called before about some of the same issues. But it seemed like, no one that I talks to can understand that, that they want to do the work for someone that, to each their own now, but I know I don't want to do any business. I don't want to work for anyone when they had to rape and murder children, women, and men. And they enjoyed those acts, which are inhumane. It's very, very, very inhumane. And they enjoyed those acts, but they done that to my people. So I don't want to be in no involvement, no business. I don't want to be singing kumbaya with them, or none of those things. Just want to be left alone. I don't want no harm done, and I don't want to do no harm.
Let it be known.
So you please point that out to the evildoers that you work for, because they don't want to admit to being evildoers, but it's written in their history and everything. So you can't try to portray to be somebody different today, because what you did, and you still won't tell the truth about the things that you did, because we have to go dig and search the truth about who we are and where we came from. They don't even want to give that to you naturally. You have to go dig for that and find that out. That's still a crime that exists right now today. So Joe Biden won't tell you about it. Nobody dares to go there to even talk about it. But they're okay with you saying, yeah, you're African American on those forms and applications that they have created. And that's why when you speak about what they owe you, they know they don't owe you jack diddly squat, because you checking the box saying you are African American. You telling a lie already, and they know that. They know they don't owe you nothing because you telling the lie about claiming you African American. So they know they don't owe you nothing. It's only when you can tell the truth about who you are and where you came from, where they'll accept any type of conversation about reparations and what they owe you. But as long as you check that box to say African American, oh, they know they still got you. They don't owe you nothing for that. But with me, I just want to be a free and peaceful person. Not here to do no harm, to cause no damage to no one or their property. Not like the same in return. And that's all I can ask. That's all I can ask. And I've asked this on numerous occasions. I've documented it, and the public is aware that I've been trying to make reason through these different departments and agencies, but they refuse to let go of the evil. They refuse to do it. No matter how you tell it to them, they just refuse to do it. And they can go home at the end of their day at work with a smile on their face, because they know they got paid for the day and they got a check coming. Well, if that's the kind of check that you want and that put a smile on your face, just remember, what was done to men, women, and children. Inhumane acts, unthinkable acts. People scream and holler for their life. Unbearable, unbearable screaming. You couldn't even bear it, but those people enjoyed those type of screams. They enjoyed that. And then came along and created what they created to give, you the position that you have right now as an enjoyment of what they did. I don't want to be a part of that, man. I don't know how I can be removed from the business that they have with my credentials attached to it or anything like that, but they need to be burned down and destroyed. However they need to, it just need to be eradicated. Whatever they got on me in their systems, I just want it to be done away with. I don't want to, like I say, I would be trying to cause harm if I went out there shouting these things out to the public. I don't do that. So, and it's only because I know their concept of thinking. They think I would do harm to them if I went out to the public shouting the things out that I mentioned here. I'm not trying to do that because I don't want to harm nobody. It's up to each individual in their own to do the due diligence to resolve their own matters. I would like to do those things, but if I'm going to be looked at as doing harm to go out to the public to try to help people resolve their matters when it comes to these people that did these things that I mentioned, I would actually do it, but I don't want to be looked at as if I'm causing harm. So I wouldn't do it because I know those people will still look at me as if I'm causing harm. Because they have a business to run. So they definitely are going to look at me as if I'm causing harm. And that's not my purpose here. And so, as I've said, I just want, the record to reflect that I've made, a stance and I've given my, my truth and my thoughts of things that, I don't agree with, and that I don't want it to have any connection to, any involvement, as if I am in agreement with it. Because, like it's a crime to even do that, to force me to be involved with somebody like that. That's criminal itself, shouldn't it be? You're going to involve me with somebody that did the type of things that they did to people, and to my people, though. No, I don't. That's a crime in itself. But they don't want to talk about that kind of harm, though. No, I don't want to be involved in that, ma'am. Can you just, I don't know if you're able to do it, but you or someone, I know they can do it, because if someone entered that information, someone can remove that information. And just leave me be. Just leave me be.
I'll definitely put that request in for you. Was there anything else I can help with today?
No, it's like, just so you know, it's just like my 30th time. I'll be exaggerating when I say my 30th time, but it feels like it. I know I've done it a lot to try to have to document these type of conversations when I try to call these people to try to correct the record, and they don't want to do so. Every time I do this, I still receive something to come. They're sending something out to try to mail me something to try to tell me otherwise. I don't even recognize the things that they're talking about, because what they're talking about, that's their business. You're talking to me as if I'm a part of the business, and I'm not. I don't agree with the acts, the crimes in it. That's impossible for me to do that. And if any, and I would tell you in it, and a God that I believe in, when somebody try to force that on you to try to make you be involved and and join along with someone that that has done these inhumane things to men, women, and children, the God that I know tell me to go kill them off. The God that I know, I don't know about the God that anybody else. I know the God that I know tell me to go kill that off. Physically kill it off. That's the God that I know, though. Bring down Babylon. That's what the God that I know tell me to do.
Well, I'll definitely get that request in for you.
All right, I appreciate it, and I just have to call back again and try to finish documenting it and see where we at, as the days go on, because I'm not gonna stop with this. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop with this. I'm proving who these people are. Everybody that work for any agency and department of this cult, because that's what it is. By now people should know that it's a cult. You want to call the government, do so. But I know what to call it. It's Babylon. But yes, ma'am. I just be calling to check the status of things. I won't stop until they correct the record with me. Just leave me be. You can be as
All
wicked.
right.
You can be as wicked as you want to be. If that's what you want to do for a paycheck or whatever. But just leave me be. I don't mind you being wicked for a
All
paycheck.
right. I'll put that in the notes for you. Have an amazing day.
Yeah, you too, man.